Now, I'm not going to go on the rant again about what's going to happen on the Bitcoin on a longer term, because I have been doing this from past 2 weeks and I'm simply waiting for the Bitcoin to come inside the range again, or like at least bottom out. And right now I do not see the signs of Bitcoin in the range. Sorry, I do not see the signs of Bitcoin in the range, nor do I see the sign that Bitcoin have bottomed out. I don't see a sign of anything. What I see is that Bitcoin currently was in this range. It did a fake out, and now we have did a breakdown. We have done a retest. You can see this wick. I'm sorry. You can see this wick. We have done a retest, and now the Bitcoin is in a trend phase. So the Bitcoin ranges, trends, ranges, trends, ranges, trends. That's how it have been. I can show you ranges, trend, ranges, trend, ranges, trend, ranges, trend, ranges, trend. So the market moves in a very specific way, which is you range and then you trend, you range and then you trend, you range and then you trend. This is the secret of the market. If you know which stage you are in at the moment for the markets, you will be able to conquer everything in the Bitcoin. And at the moment we are at a trendy stage. So we did a ranging, and now we are at a trendy stage. We did a ranging, and now we are at a trendy stage. This is the type of market you usually want to avoid. Sorry, you usually want to avoid, because you will not get many great high confluence based trade opportunities in this. So you usually want to avoid this. So I am simply waiting for this trend. We did a range and now we are in a trend. So I am simply waiting for this trend to end and form a new range so we can trade this. So you will remember that once we were inside this range, I gave you a lot of trades. We took a lot of live streams. We did a lot of live streams. We took a lot of trades. But now, since we are not in a range, but instead we are in a trend, you can see that I haven't been giving much of the trades because there are just not high confluences trades. That is the simple philosophy behind my current trading strategy. So hope you understand what I mean by this. So now the question is, where do I expect the next range to be formed? To be fair, I do expect the next range to be formed somewhere around here. This area from 57k to the 43k. I expect the Bitcoin to bottom around either the 48k or the 43k. These will be the zones where Bitcoin should bottom out. We should not go below them, because if we go below this range you see, which is 42k, if we break below the 42k, then there is absolutely nothing stopping Bitcoin to hit 30k, and the 30k would be disastrous for the Bitcoin. And Michael Saylor would also probably get liquidated. I mean his liquidation is around 8k, but you can see how things will get really ugly for him, and we don't want that, of course. So that's why it is very important that Bitcoin should stay above the 43k, which I think it will. And you know the most of the people are expecting is that we will sweep the liquidity of this and then we will bottom out. I think this is going to be the trap. This liquidity here is going to be the trap. People would think that we have since swept this, we have bottomed out, but it will go up and then it will come down again to tap on this weekly level, and then we finally bottom out. This is my thesis. I could be wrong, but I genuinely think that the 43k level should hit. I just don't think so. The 48k level is the big enough confluence for it to bottom out. I think the 43k is moreover a bigger confluence. That's just my thesis. But at the moment, what is Bitcoin doing? As I said, the Bitcoin is currently in a trend. I am not interested in taking trades at the moment. This is not exciting me. If I go on a lower time frame from higher time frame, this is simply something which is not exciting me. If you look at this range, it simply have been a pretty shitty range. So you can already see from here how we were in this range. Boom, boom, boom. We did a bearish retest and now we are going lower. This is the textbook setup, and everyone who's trying to convince you that we are going higher from here, all time highs 80k, he's just straight off lying because he doesn't know. He simply doesn't know. No one can tell you we are going from the 80k. We are going 80k from here, because the Bitcoin going to 80k from here is just have the less probability, and Bitcoin going to 43k from here have more probability. So that's why my targets are lower, and I'm simply waiting for a range to be created so we can start trading again. So this month, and even maybe possibly the upcoming month, will be very slow, but eventually we will find trading condition and we will thrive. This is the moment where you want to stick around. Like, it's just gonna be a 2 to 3 months of more pain, and after that the Bitcoin is going to be very good. You will love trading the Bitcoin, and we will make a lot of money. It just, there is going to be some sort of pain for at least 2 to 3 months. This is what the bear market, the previous bear market suggests, and this is what the current market pricing price is suggesting. Because if you think this is hard to trade, trust me, this is not. Once you have a range, things are actually easy to trade. And trust me, what you see here, the bear market is not going to be this slow this time, because of course the things are changed. The us is adapting the Bitcoin. The cycles are getting shorter and shorter. So the bear market will be much more volatile than this one. Okay, the bear market will be much more volatile. We will have more price action to play with, and we will be able to execute more trades in this range that we are going to create pretty soon. So yeah, overall the Bitcoin, on the longer term, weekly term, monthly terms, I am bullish. But on the shorter term, of course, we are still in a bear market. I am still expecting a new low. I have been talking about a new low to be made from 80K. When every one of your grew was bullish, I was saying that we will make a new low. Then we did, and I'm still saying, even when we are sitting at the lows, I am saying that we will go down lower from here. This is not the area where the Bitcoin is supposed to be bottom or will bottom. That's just my thesis, studying the price action from hours and hours. So that's the thing. Now I can look at the furthermore lower time frame to see what is the 45 minute is saying, and what sort of trade we can execute. So a trade that I see on the Bitcoin that could potentially be very good is this one. Give me a second. I'm just looking at, yeah. This is the trade that I think we which can have some sort of effect on the Bitcoin. And this is basically where you want to take. If you are looking to short, this is where we are supposed to short on the Bitcoin. If I use the anchored VWAP, possibly, yeah, probably lower. If I use it from here, yeah, you can see the anchored VWAP from here perfectly aligns with this level, and this is the area where I want to execute the short. If I use other indicators as well, such as the key suits levels, you can see we also have the monthly POC, previous week value area high, and we also have, no, we do not have any other confluence from advanced support and resistance. Just give me a second, let me also draw this and see if we can. Yeah, you can see we also have a point of control around this area. So this is going to be a very good trade if a Bitcoin comes to this level, and ideally something like this where we would like to play this out. That's for the Bitcoin. Again, this is not a limit, guys. This is more over a trade plan. So if Bitcoin comes to this level, make sure you have the alerts placed. You can either tag me, or you can basically wait for the reaction to occur, and then we will execute the trade. So that's for the Bitcoin. Let's look at the Ethereum. So this was the level that I talked about on my X as well, and I'm gonna just make a post on the X as well, that we are up almost 4% on the Bitcoin. Just give me a second, guys. Let me quickly update my analysis on the X. We are finally bouncing from my level. If you have been following my previous streams, you would know that this level I talked about, and my clear words were on the Ethereum, that if we lose this level, then you need to start praying for the Ethereum. And we did not, and you can see that this level is the only level which is holding pretty well, and we are producing a very good bounce, which I am really happy about. Let me just remove this, which I'm really happy about overall. But let's see where we are supposed to look for the next short. So this is the area where you want to take a long. I mean, if you want to take a long at the current market price, to be honest, I don't think so it's entirely a bad idea, but it will be a very bad RR trade, and that would be your a trade like something like this. That should be your maybe give me a more minute to analyze the situation further, more better, more. Yeah, that would be your trade for the Ethereum. Very riskier trade, so make sure to have a DCA lower as well. This would really help you. But anyways, so for the shorts, I think we have a very clear level for the shorts, and that's what we are gonna look at. This is the high we have from here. Yeah, I think these are the two levels that I am mostly interested in for the shorts. Where I would be interested in for the shorts. This is where you should be expecting a reaction from. If not this, then you can look for the higher level, which is around moreover. Yeah, this is basically the level which I think is a pretty good level, and this is where you should be expecting a overall reaction from. Here I have dropped the chart for you, and for the Ethereum, as I said, this is the ideally the long which I'm looking at for the Ethereum. I hope that the Trump and the VAR does not fucks this up, but this looks like a very decent setup. Let's look at the Solana again. The Solana again predicted these. I discussed all of this on my streams. This was all in front of you. I discussed all of this on my stream in front of you, and these were the levels that I told you. And I really hope that you guys follow me, and you can see how well my Solana level performed. We literally tapped to this level, and you can see the reaction that we produced. Just look at the reaction by yourself. This is not me doing it, and there was literally no doubt, no drawdown. So if you took a trade from here, you stop loss like this, and you can see this was a free 4 hour trade. So yeah, our streams have been pretty good recently. Anyways, for the Solana, I am still expecting the short from this level. Short from this level. This is where I wanna look for the shorts on the Solana. So nothing much on there. I think we can look at the XRP. What do you think, guys? The XRP is looking really bad. So ideally, we wanna look for the shorts on this asset as well. And if we go on a 4 hour time frame, which would be the best. Yeah, this is the level where I am most interested in shorting. This is simply where I want to short. A nice level of this is, if I use the anchored VWAP from the high, we also have the anchored VWAP coming down the low, and I think this would be a very good level for the overall short on the XRP on the daily time frame if you get it. Yeah, you can see we also have a volume profile value area high here, and if we use the value, yeah, we don't have the confluence of this, but this is itself is a very high level confluence. This is a very good trade, to be honest. XRP for the XRP. Yeah, very good trade for the XRP. To be honest, the long on the XRP makes sense here as well. If we do something like this, so very similar setup to the Ethereum, something like this. Let's see how this goes out. Anyways, these were my setups that I wanted to look at, the specific coins. As you guys already know, that I only trade the majors, and I think today's stream was pretty good. First of all, our Solana level played out perfectly to the tick, as I showed you, and then our Ethereum level played out exactly, well, not exactly to the tick, but that level held around. And you can watch my previous streams. These were my exact words that I said about the Ethereum, that if this level does not hold, the Ethereum is freaking cooked. And you can see the bounce from that level. Now, I have given you the short level for the Ethereum, short level for the Solana, short level for the Bitcoin. And then I'm also looking for this potential long on the XRP. And then this is the short level for the XRP, which is around 1.18. So I think this was a very productive streams. We talked about a lot of nice levels. Some of our trades performed really well as well. So yeah, I think let's wrap this up. We will come back for our Thursday stream and see how this plans out. But overall, very productive session, and I loved it. So hope you guys are constantly joining it and making money from it. And I'll see you on the next one on the Thursday, because I don't have much to talk about, and as you all guys already know, that I mostly trade and talk about the majors. So yeah, thank you guys for joining in. I'll catch you later. Bye.